Okay, welcome everyone. Uh, this time we're gonna talk about reading, and as I do it every time, whenever we're gonna have a lesson or something, the first thing I would like to do is have you thinking about it. Like, what is reading for you? What do you think the process? Because reading is a really complex process. So I just want you to express for each of you what is reading. How do you see it? And who wants to start? You can say whatever. I mean,
It's
we,
like
we, we've been reading our whole life since we learned to read. But what do you see it like? Like,
it helps you like know the meaning of words
mhm.
and
You can also inform yourself.
yeah,
By reading, you can also get
understand.
knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
You learn to do
Just not
so many
about
things
words,
just
yeah.
by reading.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Vivian? Like you can reflect, or you can just say, what do you use reading for in your daily life? I mean, you go to the supermarket and you're looking for something specific, like
You have to read, right?
like if you don't have, you can't have certain things, or you can eat certain things, so you need to read the ingredients. So just to find out if you can eat it or not.
Just like you, since you're like allergic to gluten, you have to always go to the store and read the label, right? Yeah.
So yeah, you read the labels on food. Um, you read magazines. You read science industry. You read science while driving. So that's what you just reading for. So it's like a very complex process because you use it for so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, reading, like you said, it's to know the meaning of the words. But I mean, if you only know the meaning of the words, it's just part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to know how to put words together, and that will be grammatical structures
Mm-hmm.
right here. Because you need to know how words work, which words go with other words, like verbs and
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's part of reading. And also, we learn to recognize words, and we learn their meanings, and then we learn that's vocabulary when we learn words, and then we learn how to arrange words,
And
which
so that's grammatical
structures. Yeah, because it's just like the rules, like the subject and the verb, then description of the verb, like the adjectives, you know. And that's how we learn to read, by recognizing words, learning words, and just learning how to put them together. Okay, but also when we read a long text, because we can read like short things out there in the street or whatever, but when we need to read like a long text,
like a book.
like a book or a magazine or a long text, just a long text,
Just not a sentence.
just not a sentence, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, even a paragraph. So we need to comprehend what we're reading, and for doing that, we do so. It's a process, like we were saying at the beginning. We recognize the words, and then they're all put together. But then those words all together have a meaning,
Uh-huh.
and that's a meaning we need to get out of the text, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's reading comprehension. And when we're reading, what do you do to understand what you're reading. Like that will be like a strategies to achieve comprehension. Those strategies are going to help us comprehend and understand what we're reading and why are we reading it for. Okay, so when we're reading, we usually we talk about vocabulary and the rules, but we also use inferring, and that's like if you read the title, and for example, a title will be like it's gonna snow tomorrow, and then you start thinking about it,
About this.
and you know what it means because you live in a place where we get a lot of snow, so you know what the text is about just by reading the title. So that's inferring. You you kind of guess
Or like imagine.
or imagine what the text is going to be about just by reading the title. So that's a strategy we use, and sometimes we don't even have to put that much attention to the text because we already know what it's about. And then when we read, like if we read about like what do you like to read about?
About animals.
If you like to read about animals, and then you kind of have a book about dogs, and you know stuff about dogs, so the book is gonna talk about that, and you know about it. So background knowledge is what you already know about the topic you're gonna read about, and you use it to understand the text. And then we have making connections, because when you read it, like we were saying about the weather, you're making a connection with the outside, with the place where you live and the text. So that's making a connection between the text and the world.
The real life.
And real life. And that's a strategy to understand better. Because a kid, if a kid is like, we'll say like 5 years old, and he knows how to read words, but if he sees them together, or you put words for him together, he's not able to just understand what he's reading. He knows the meaning of the words, but just like word by word, and then he gets to put the words together that he understands it, and then a longer sentence, and then he understands it. But you can read like a real long sentence and you get the meaning out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then also when you read and you want to achieve comprehension, you monitor yourself. Monitor yourself is like you're aware of what you're reading, and you are also aware yourself if you're understanding or not.
Saúl, ¿tienes chiquitos pies?
If you understand it or not. So that's how we monitor ourselves when reading. And we do something. If we don't understand the text,
Just like
and we're-
saying like you're reading a sentence and
Mhm.
you're like, I don't know this word.
yeah, and that's really important. Like if you don't know words, because some words you might need to use, you might need to know the meaning, so
Or is
you
it-
understand.
Or is
The
it
text.
just like, cause sometimes when I'm reading, like, I know I'm reading, but I don't know, like, what I'm reading. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying the words, but I don't, like,